Hi, and welcome back to my channel, Plain Not Jane. I am Plain Not Jane, and you, my friend, have tuned into this week's 7. This week's 7 is a video series highlighting lessons learned and observations made in my life over the last 7 days. And this week's 7 starts now. Number 1, make sure you pay attention to your family medical history. Alright, here's a little story. This past week, I had a false alarm. So let me preface it with this. I'm fine. I am healthy. There is nothing wrong with me, okay? But I had a little bit of a false alarm. I was having like pain in my chest, and I got a little lightheaded and all this stuff. And it was a good chance that it was just some really, really bad trapped gas. If you have never had trapped gas, count yourself lucky. Like, that is some uncomfortable, painful stuff, let me just tell you. But anyway, I was, having the pains in my chest and at the top of my stomach. I was feeling lightheaded, and I got a little short of breath. Not like really, really bad, but a little bit. Normally, I probably would have just sat at home and rode it out. However, I am fully aware that I am pushing 40. I'm also aware of my family medical history. My family has a history of cardiovascular issues and disease. And with that in mind, I went to urgent care just to make sure I was okay. And then at urgent care, of course, I shared with them my family medical history, and my EKG came back. It looked like it might have been abnormal, and they actually sent me to the ER. And that's when, they did some further testing. I was not having a heart attack. It was just some GI issues. I'm fine. Again, I am good. I'm fine. I'm just going to have a medical bill coming in. But anyway, I say that to say this. Make sure that you pay attention to your family medical history. This incident with me earlier this week was a false alarm. However, taking those extra precautions and, taking that step to be safe as opposed to being sorry was warranted due to my family medical history. So if you don't know your family's medical history, ask. How did your grandparents die if they're not here with us anymore? Do any of your aunts and uncles have diabetes? Do they have high blood pressure? Did anybody die of some mysterious disease that nobody else has ever heard of? Did more than one person in your family die of this mysterious disease? Ask questions. Find out about what's in your family tree. Shake that joker until you find out what's in your family tree and find out about your family medical history. Number 2, you have to start somewhere. It doesn't matter what your goal is, what you're trying to accomplish. You have to start somewhere. You start by setting a small goal. Then you build up on that success. And then you prepare for the obstacles. Here's an example. I know that I need to exercise, especially considering, number 1, the false alarm that I had earlier this week. And so I'm taking a small step by just doing 50 squats each day. I actually enjoy doing squats for some reason, and it's not really hard to do, but it has its benefits. And so my small step is 50 squats a day. To build upon that success, once it becomes a habit, I'll add some push-ups or even a little cardio. And then I'm also going to prepare for obstacles. I know that there will be days that I will not want to do any exercise. I will already be tired, or I may not feel well. And so in order to overcome those obstacles, I'm going to have reminders of the fear I felt with the false alarm. That's how I'm preparing for the obstacle of laziness. So to recap, whatever your goal, take 3 steps. 1, set a small goal. 2, build up on that success. And 3, prepare for any and all obstacles. Number 3, minimalism just ain't for me. I tried, to dabble and dibble in minimalism because we do have a lot of clutter around our home. And don't get me wrong, I still enjoy a good purge or a good get rid of it session. However, I find too many uses for the most random stuff, and that's why I like buy and collect stuff, because I actually use it. Example, my husband was studying and he was like, I need some index cards. Well, I happen to have index cards in 3 different colors. What color would you like, my dear? You know, and then a little earlier, I was making a bow for Honey Badger, and I looked at the bow and I knew it needed something. It needed buttons. So I went into my button stash and voila, the bow was complete. And so I'm still going to work on decluttering, you know, and organizing our stuff. But I'm just done with the whole minimalism thing. I'm done. Number 4. There are 163 days until Christmas. Number 5. It is so very important to have the right people around you. People that are going to tell you the truth in love. People that are going to speak life into you. People that'll give you a kick in the pants when you need it. Here's the story. Some things happened this past week, and I found myself like this close to folding up into the tightest fear ball ever. Yes, fear ball. It's a word. If you've ever been in a fear ball, you know exactly what I mean. If you've never been in a fear ball, you might find yourself like that one day. But I was about to fold up into the tightest fear ball ever. But my husband he said some things that really helped me unwind and unfold out of that fear ball. He told me some truth, and he did it in a way that was loving but eye-opening. Now, had I confided in somebody that was also fearful, then we both would have wound up folded up in a corner in our own separate little tight fear balls. But because I had that person, that right person nearby to confide in, as opposed to stepping back into fear, I was able to step out into boldness and in God's confidence. And so it's really important that you have the right people around you. And then also, number 6, you cannot confide in everybody. There are some people in your life that genuinely care about you and genuinely have your best interest at heart. However, they may not be the best people to confide in, depending on what you're sharing. Here's why. People's experiences shape their perception. Their perceptions shape their behavior and habits. Here's why you can't confide in everybody. If you have a person that was bit by a dog as a child, as an adult, they probably will be afraid of dogs for good reason. So there's probably not the person to confide in and say, man, I kind of want a dog. Because more than likely they're going to tell you, no, dogs are vicious, biting creatures. Why? Because that's been their experience with dogs. They got bit, they're afraid, they think all dogs bite. Now I know that's a huge generalization, but just follow me. If you are seeking relationship advice and you want to confide in a friend, the friend may really and truly care about your best interest. They may truly love you. But if that friend has never been in a healthy relationship, then that's probably not the person you should confide in. If you have questions about making your business more profitable, that friend that you're thinking about talking to may have your best interest at heart. But if that friend has never actually had a successful business, not just a business, because everybody can have a business, it doesn't take much, but you want to confide in somebody that's had a successful business. You understand what I'm saying? So Yes, they may care about you. Yes, they may have your best interest at heart. But just be careful about who you confide in. And finally, number 7. There may be hope for my LG V20 after all. So, if you haven't watched the previous episodes of this week 7, then you can click like right up here to catch the previous episodes. So let me give you the update on my phone. My husband tried the clothes dryer on my phone. He put it in the sock, put the sock in the door, closed it so that it didn't get tossed around, and ran a few cycles. Well, I got the phone, put the battery in just to see what would happen. It powered up, which it has done from the beginning, but my touch screen responded. I have a PIN code on my phone, and before, when that screen would come up with my PIN code, the number pad didn't come up at all. This time, I hit the home button. It lit up. The little circle in the middle, it lit up. I touched it, and my number pad came up. Now, I wasn't able to press any numbers in, but my touch screen kind of sort of responded. So I took the phone, put it back in the bowl of rice. It has been sitting in rice for about 4 or 5 days now. Y'all, like, I almost cried. I was so excited when I saw that number pad come up. So I'm really hoping that the phone would dry out and I'll be able to go back to it, because this one, it was cool, you know, at first. I can't stand this phone. I'm so over it. So I'm really hoping that my LG can be revived. Wish me luck. Alright, that's been this week's 7. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a good old thumbs up. And if you didn't, keep on going and don't come back. Also, make sure you click below to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this week's 7 DIY projects, cooking videos, and good old family foolery. So until next time, go where you celebrate it, not just tolerate it. Be safe. Bye-bye.